One of the greatest ironies of the lovey-dovey, hippie, relational Christians who sing their pop love songs during worship and reduce God to nothing but love is that they can never really love Him because they refuse to accept all of Him. They create a God of their imagination, a demigod really when compared to the Lord revealed in Scripture. They deny Him His omnipotence because they cannot reconcile His power with His love when they see or personally endure terrible suffering. Just like the hypothetical questioner in Romans 9, they shake their fist at a God who controls everything and declares, "I am the Lord, and there is no other. There is no God but me. I will equip you for battle, though you have not known me, so that all may know, from where the sun rises to where it sets, that there is none but me. I am the Lord, and there is no other. I form the light and create the darkness. I bring prosperity and I create calamity. I, the Lord, do all these things." They prefer a Baal who only blesses and prospers them, a Baal who will make them magically vanish before facing tribulation. The problem is that a God who only blesses does not exist. Further, a God who is helpless in the face of evil, unable to stop it, is not worthy of worship, undeserving of the title of God. Those who witness suffering quickly realize that and abandon the imaginary God, becoming atheists who insist that God Himself is imaginary. No, your version of Santa Zeus is clearly imaginary, but God, as He is described in Scripture, is very real. The God of Scripture says, "I am God, you are not. You are in no position to question me. I make the sun rise on the evil and on the good, and send rain on the just and the unjust alike. But trust me, as I am working all things together for good to them that love me, to them who are called according to my purpose." In other words, you are a character in His story. He is not one in yours. In the beginning, God. When you get that foundation, the full revelation of the gospel, and the magnitude of His benevolence, grace, forgiveness, and love is multiplied that much more. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Similar to earthly relationships with a father, when we start with awe and reverence, it is easy for love to grow from that foundation. However, when we start with just emotional love, without respect, it is difficult for the latter to develop later in that relationship. It is more likely that we take the father figure, be he earthly or heavenly, for granted, and when he fails to grant our desire, we are filled with resentment. Like Job, when we are humbled and realize how small and insignificant we are compared to the infinite glory of God, can we really appreciate the splendor of creation. Only when we realize how helpless and dependent we truly are can we grow in grace and love for the one who controls all things. And that is why I started with Job and why we only covered 4 words in the first lesson. Now, I know that was quick, but that is how we might do things from now on, sticking with one point before diluting it with another. Before we move on in the next lesson, I want to ruminate on these first 4 words. In the beginning, God. If we all get that, I did my job. And everything else which follows will make that much more sense. In the beginning, God. He is God. You are not.